Every year, Hasbro produces more Marvel action figures than any other action figure company on the planet. So many waves, so many figures, almost everything a collector could have wanted, and yet, there's always something, somewhere, some character that hasn't been made or needs to be made again. Hi, I'm Dan Larson, and this is the 10 Most Wanted Marvel Legends, Volume 4. This is the 10 Most Wanted Marvel Legends Volume 4, the result of thousands of votes across the Toy Galaxy social media spectrum and the action figure subreddit. It's as much an expression of collectors' hopes as it is a statement on how comprehensive the line has already been. The number of characters, variations, artists' interpretations was so diverse that it was clear that almost no one could agree on where the line should go, since Hasbro has already covered the Marvel Universe so completely. Number 10 is Netflix Daredevil Black Suit. This is the first crime-fighting suit that Matt Murdock throws together on the Netflix series to conceal his identity, to sneak around in the shadows before Stiltman is able to make him a proper symbol with bulletproof helmet. The suit has appeared in comics, most notably in Frank Miller and John Romita Jr.'s Daredevil the Man Without Fear, a year one approach to Daredevil's origin, and before it was in-demand cool on Netflix, it was considered disappointingly awful back on broadcast TV in 1989's The Trial of the Incredible Hulk. Number 9 is Storm, the Jim Lee 90s animated series, call it whatever you want version. It's the outfit Storm wore in the 90s with the shoulder pads, the cape wings, the big X logos. Is it shiny black, shiny white, shiny silver? Depends on the inker, the colorist, the lighting. Maybe Hasbro will choose to do what Toy Biz did back in 2004 and 2005 and just release the same figure in both all black and an all white costume. Hopefully, it will be more widely available than the Jubilee Wave Storm, which was an incredible figure but currently demands around $100 loose. Number 8 is MCU Heimdall, back on the most wanted list for the first time since Volume 1 back in 2015. Look, I don't know anything about licensing likeness rights for action figures. Who's got them? Who doesn't? How much do they cost? Who gets final approval or anything? What I do know is that we just went through an entire series of action figure releases celebrating the 10-year anniversary of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. This was Hasbro's opportunity to fill in the gaps for some of the movie assortments, especially for characters that had been overlooked the first time around. Red Skull, Sif, Yellow Jacket, Ronin, all totally appropriate inclusions, top 10 most wanted MCU figures for sure. But the continued exclusion of Idris Elba Heimdall is glaring. The only way to make up for this egregious omission is to release a 2-pack featuring his armored look paired with the Outcast of Asgard version from Thor Ragnarok. Hasbro, if budgetary concerns are what prevented you from working him into the MCU 10th anniversary line, you could have made some room by canceling the Apocalypse wave. Oh. Number 7 is Netflix Kingpin, a holdover from Most Wanted Marvel Legends Volume 3, dropping 4 slots from number 3 to number 7. This is Wilson Fisk as portrayed by Vincent D'Onofrio. Last time he was on the list, voters wanted any version of Kingpin. This time, with the comic version having already been announced by Hasbro and a brand new season of Daredevil on Netflix, voters were able to hyper-focus their votes on the only other version of this character that has any realistic chance of being made. But look, I don't know anything about licensing likeness rights to action figures. Who's got them, who doesn't, how much they cost. Number 6 is Mr. Knight, aka Moon Knight. Moon Knight doesn't get a lot of love when it comes to anything. In this age of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which has elevated B and C-list characters to household name status, he's one of the rare Marvel characters that is still a complete unknown even to many who consider themselves Marvel fans. To take that obscurity a step further, this version of Moon Knight isn't even his main costume. A version of that suit was released in 2017. This version of Moon Knight is a business-wear law enforcement consultant sporting an all-white suit, gloves, and mask. It's a much more pulp detective aesthetic, which looks cool and draws slightly less attention than a cape and skin-tight bodysuit. Trust me, I know. Number 5 is Scorpion, one of Spider-Man's oldest foes and sometimes member of the Sinister Six. MacDonald Mac Gargan is well overdue for an update. He made his last appearance with 2 different figures back in the early 2000s as part of the pre-Marvel Legends line, Spider-Man Classics. They were good figures for the era, but it's time to see what Hasbro can do for Scorpion with the variety of body styles, points of articulation, and engineering innovations of the last decade and a half. Number 4 is Jean Grey, Jim Lee 90s animated series, call it whatever you want version. Once you open that 90s box, forever will it dominate your destiny, or until such time as you have completed the assortment. 90s Cyclops, 90s Psylocke, 90s Cable, Deadpool, Shatterstar, Wolverine, Rogue. We should consider ourselves lucky that this entire list isn't just the remaining 90s X-Men, X-Factor, and X-Force rosters transcribed in order of popularity. Did I say remaining?
Yeah.
You'll get a screen hit out of it. Number 3 is Dr. Doom. The Monarch of Latveria will be denied no longer. Missing in action since the 2012 Epic Heroes era of Marvel Legends, Doom demands more, Doom demands better. Doom should be all 10 spots on this list, and on every list, even after an update has been produced. All 4 members of the Fantastic Four and the Silver Surfer have been released as Walgreens exclusives. Could Doom be the next figure to find his way into every location but the ones near me? Number 2 is Beast. Folks, here at Toy Galaxy, we have a pretty good track record of creating most wanted lists that motivate manufacturers to take action. Through us, through this medium of social media and YouTube, action figures that did not exist suddenly do. Your votes, your participation in this list was so powerful that on the day of shooting this video, Marvel Legends Beast was officially announced and images were shown to the public. That's the kind of action you demand. That's the kind of action we deliver. And number 1 is Nightcrawler. Bamfing up 5 spots to take the number 1 spot, the Blue Fuzzy Elf last had a classic styled figure in 2005. While he has been in and out of a featured spot in the comics and movies, the classic version of the character has never really left consideration as a core member of the X-Men. As various era-specific rosters are slowly being completed, a classic 70s/80s version of the character is a necessity to facilitate either an X-Men or Excalibur display. While a posable tail is not a necessity, a swashbuckling sword and an alternate head would go a long way to delivering a definitive Nightcrawler that should last collectors another 13 years or so. That's the 10 Most Wanted Marvel Legends Volume 4. As good as our track record has been in the past volumes, getting off to a 10% delivery capture before the video is even finished is definitely some kind of record. Give yourselves a high five. Thanks for watching. Please hit like, hit subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. Thank you very much to those of you who already are. Please share this video, and if you're in the position to help the channel grow, visit our Patreon at patreon.com/toygalaxy. Thank you again to everyone who participated in the voting on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, Instagram, and the action figure subreddit. Let us know in the comments down below which figure didn't make the list that rises to the level of egregious omission. Bonus points if it's not a 90s character.
Cut.